Want to know how to make cold processed soap? Stay tuned. So, first, you need to gather out all of the tools that you'll need. So, I have a spatula, stick blender, my strainer, and my swirling tools. This is the fragrance that I'm using, which is actually peppermint essential oil, first distilled from brambleberry. I'm also using goat milk. I have Mayenberg goat milk powder, as well as kaolin clay and colloidal oatmeal, which I add to most of my bars. I'll include the recipe and the measurements below. I also am using brick red pigment as well as King's Gold mica, which I got both from Brambleberry. When working with goat milk, you definitely want to soap at lower temperatures. So here I am adding my colloidal clay, my oatmeal, as well as my goat milk. I am putting it in the oils. That way I can stick blend to my heart's content without worrying about my batter reaching trace. As I said before, you definitely want to soap at lower temperatures, as close to room temperature as possible when using goat milk or any type of milk, so you can avoid the milk scorching your soap and giving it a burnt smell and changing the color and just not being what you intended it to be. When adding my lye, I always use a strainer. That way, if there are any lye pieces, they don't go into my batter and then I have a ruined batter. So I always strain it just to make sure all of the dissolved lye goes through into the oil so I can stick blend. And this is a Brambleberry essential oil, so I use the Brambleberry fragrance calculator to determine the measurement for my essential oil. I added it in. I don't stick blend essential oils or fragrances because I don't want to increase any possible acceleration into my batter. So I always just mix it with a spatula. This is Brambleberry's brick red pigment, and I added some of the oil from my original batter at the beginning into this so I can stir the color before I added the soap batter, and then I'll just mix it all up to get it ready to pour. After pouring this creamy goodness, I am going to bang it on the counter, not because I'm crazy, but because I want to avoid any holes in the finished product. I do have a hanger swirl that I have never used before. I like to use this old thermometer that I bought when I first started soaping as my swirling tool because I think it creates some really pretty swirls. Here I added a little bit of soap batter to the King Goes mica, and I'm just going to throw some of that on the top so I can create some pretty swirls and texture it. Because there is goat milk in it, I am going to cover it with the bottom of another soap mold, and I'm going to place it in the fridge for 24 hours.